What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTL podcast. Is it Tuesday or Monday? It's Monday, isn't it? It's Monday, right? Monday night, August 21st, 2023. We're at episode 61. And tonight we're going to talk about Anthony Farah, the Timepiece gentleman, the truth, lies, and wristwatches. Oh gosh, this is getting good. It's starting to heat up. And I had to bring in one of my buddies over here, JJ from the JJ's Watch Hangout. I always get confused because he's used to be JJ's Gentleman's Hangout, but he's changed to Watch Hangout. If you all want to go subscribe to his channel, I do have his link up there through the stream. You can go up there, tap on that link, and give him some love and subscribe to his channel. But I won't wait too much longer. I'll bring him in. We'll get the show started off. I told JJ we'll keep it to about an hour tonight. He kind of did this, jumped on for me, had last minute, and I said, hey, thanks for doing this, but we'll bring him in here and have some fun tonight. What up, dude? Sorry I caught you off guard.
No, all good, all good. I was just sending out the link to my WhatsApp group for you, to get a few more people.
Awesome, in here. Man. Yeah, we'll get some people to fill in. And
yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, well, welcome. Yeah, welcome to LTL podcast. I know you and I kind of go way back. Just to give everybody a little bit of a background, I used to be a watch YouTube channel, and that's kind of how I came across JJ. They're into like really super high-end watches, like, you know, Rolex, AP, Patek, and that's kind of the stuff that they cover on their channel. And not only do they cover it, they own a lot of these watches too. And you know, I went on to discuss what do you got? Which one you got?
Day 40.
Day, yeah, that's beautiful. So anyway, we used to talk watches over there, and everybody kind of knows about the Timepiece gentleman, Anthony Farah stuff. And, you know, I kind of dropped out from doing watch content. I wanted to split off and do more of a podcast channel, but I always kept in contact with JJ. You know, I always hit him up. Hey, how are the boys? How's your channel? And, it's just funny. Like this Anthony Farah stuff kind of popped up again. They said, whoa, $5 million in debt. You know, everybody obviously knows what's going on. I started reaching out to JJ and kind of here we are again. So
yeah, it's pretty wild. But, you know, like you said, we knew it was only a matter of time before more drama came back around. Right. So
it just, yeah, it always seems like that circle. I don't know. It's like, I always say Anthony's like his own worst enemy. He creates his own drama. I almost think like sometimes he I think he likes it. I really do think he likes it.
It's marketing genius, man. Marketing genius.
It is marketing genius. Yeah, that's his trademark there. So let me just pull up this $5 super chat. Jeff Lane in the chat. He said, Jeff Lane says, JJ banned me. So here you go, Brian. Here's $5. Thanks, JJ.
Poor Jeff Lane. Jeff got, I don't know what happened, but somebody got trigger happy and banned my man, Jeff.
Jeff's been on here for a long time. He always pops in and out.
Yeah, Jeff is great. He's been around, you know, for a long time. I don't know exactly what happened, but somebody got a little trigger happy and banned him by accident. I had to get him out. I had to dig him out the other day. I didn't even know. I got to go through the list, but I had to scold some moderators. You know, it's not easy.
That's hilarious. So anyway, I want to just kind of get into this. We're going to pull up. I had about a 30-minute montage of kind of what unfolded on your channel the other day. And I want to thank you for actually letting me come onto the panel. And initially it was just supposed to start out with a watch review or a watch going to show Wesley's watch collection. And if anybody doesn't know, Wesley was one of the guys that were an investor kind of caught up in this $5 million debt. And JJ was giving them his platform over there to kind of talk about what happened between them and Anthony. And then you had Bob on there as well. You were going to do a watch review. And then about what, 30, 40 minutes into the show? Or
Well, what happened was, Wesley had come on, and obviously you were there. We did the original interview, which worked out really well. It was well received, and someone had originally reached out to me to do that interview with him. He was getting a lot of hate on like Reddit and all that stuff, and it wound up helping out, I guess, a bit for him. And then I had reached out to Bob. And they have different circumstance. Bob was just someone who sold their watch. He wasn't as involved in, the transactions, I guess, as Wes was. But, I had asked him if he would come on and tell his story, because he kind of broke it, right? Took off on TikTok, right, with his videos, speaking on the phone with Anthony. However you feel about that, controversial. Some people say he shouldn't have taped him. Some don't care. Some say it was good he exposed him.
Right.
But either way, it kind of, Bob really had no presence on any platform, and he wound up getting like 1 million hits, on TikTok because of that. So I felt like he had a, important story to tell. So he had come on, and I reached out to Wesley. I said, hey, being that you did the interview, why don't we do something again, a little more light, maybe come on, show your collection.
Right.
I'm sure everyone wants to see, what you still have, what you didn't lose. So,
and it's a hell of a collection, by the way.
Right. And that was only what he brought with him to his vacation house. He has way more. So I kind of bunched them together because Bob, really didn't have time for a full show anyway, which is, he kind of cut out for, I guess, multiple reasons.
Right.
But he was going to tell his story. Then we were going to let him go, and Wes was going to show his collection. We were going to just kind of cruise from there. But obviously, what happened from there. If you want to take it from there.
So we're sitting there on panel. We were probably like maybe 30 minutes into it. Bob was kind of telling a little bit of his how his involvement was, and then we were literally getting to Wesley getting ready to show his collection. And then all of a sudden, who shows up in the chat room is Anthony shows up in the chat room. And it was like, we didn't know at first if it was a troll, because anybody can make a chat account and get in there and put a profile picture up. But literally there was the check mark next to the name. And he's like, Anthony was basically like, hey, let's make this a real stream, drop the link. And, obviously JJ was being very courteous to his guests. He said, look, I'll bring him on if I get permission from both you guys. And they said, let's do this. And essentially that's what took place.
Right. Well, my main thing is, right, like if you're gracious enough to come on the show, I'm not Jerry Springer. I'm not sabotaging anyone and like, oh, look who's backstage. Oh my God, it's the real dad. Like I'm not doing that. I had initially sent 2 messages to Anthony saying, if you want to come on, this was after Wesley came on. If you want to come on and tell your side or whatever you want to say, this is an open platform and you feel free to speak your truth, your story. No response. I know he read them, it was coming up red, but no response. So, okay. So at that point, I felt like he had an opportunity to schedule something. So I wanted to be courteous to them, and only if they accepted. And they, of course they did. I think they were, kind of on the spot too. I'm sure they really weren't loving it, which is why eventually, I did wind up booting him towards the end. But who knows? Maybe he'll come back and do a full interview one day. Working on a few things. I know Bob said he would return. I mean, we're not going to do it right now. I don't want to like beat a dead horse, but maybe when some new information comes out, we'll reconvene on that.
Yeah. So again, essentially we're in there, and Anthony wanted to come on panel, and they obliged. They said, let's just bring him on. Maybe we can get some of the truth out. And here we are. So what I did was I'm sure you all saw it. I dropped about a 30-minute. I kind of clipped out all the segments that Anthony was in on JJ's chat the other night, and I did about a 30-minute video, and I thought that we could pull that up and go through it and maybe add some type of commentary if we want to stop the video and talk about it. But I thought it'd just be great to come back and review it, because I know a lot of my subscribers probably weren't in your chat that night, but I've been kind of exposing them to this story, and they're really interested in it. So
Yeah, cool. And just for those who don't know, I mean, the live stream was about 2 hours, so this was the part when Anthony came on. But I think it's important to just note that Bob gave a lot of information in the beginning that I think people might want to see at some point. Also, I don't know if anyone's interested to see what Wes has in his watch collection, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So, there are other bits and pieces. So I think it's good to check out all the content,
Of course. And I have the link to the full video down in this description. So if you all want to go back, and I encourage you all to go back and watch that full interview. But, essentially here, I just wanted to get out the Anthony stuff so we could see
the juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff. Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because of this. I feel like part of me feels like Anthony came on to stifle what Bob was saying, to kind of cut that story short, because Bob was giving out very detailed, important information. Just my opinion,
So I think what came out on stream, and I could be wrong, and correct me, JJ. Anthony is into Bob for about $200,000, and Wesley was about $1 million, correct?
Close to $1 million and close to 200, as far as I know. Yeah.
So let's pull up this real quick. Basil Bez, so you're dealing with a really interesting personality with Anthony. It's like a frat boy and a Ponzi scheme all mixed together. Tsunami says, I like Wesley's watch. His wife gave him the most priceless in his collection. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That was
the two-tone Submariner black.
Black pretty dope. All right, so let's bring up that video here, and I hope I have this correct. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Here we go. Where are you? Oop, up.
There he is.
Down there. All right, here we go. We'll just tell me if you need to stop. I'm sure I'm going to stop. And I'll tell you, Anthony has probably one of the most ultimate roasts when he roasts himself. And he talks about, that's why you're sitting on a YouTube channel now, $5 million in debt. And he totally roasted himself. And I don't think he did realize that he roasted himself.
I thought he was going to say something like, that's why. And that's where I am. But I think mid-sentence, he realized, well, where am I? I'm in trouble, So
and real quick,
that was kind of interesting.
I was gonna say, and real quick, I want to address something, because I caught a lot of shit in the chat for this in my comments. So a lot of people, well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, about a handful of people recently on the video that I dropped, kind of this montage, they said, hey, I watched you about a year ago, and you were trying to get Anthony on, and you were like being nice to him. Of course I was. I mean, that's how you get someone on your podcast. You have to build a talking relationship with them, so they build trust with you enough to bring them on. And essentially all I wanted to do at that time, because this was probably just after the blackout scheme, and things were starting to go downhill. And it's when he split from Timepiece Gentleman and went out to LA. And it was after a couple of the robberies and all that stuff. And I said, I'll give you my platform if you want to talk, because that was his second or third time around where he's like, I'm not doing YouTube anymore. But then he was like, wait, when I come back, it's going to be bigger than ever, better than ever. And, I wanted to give him that platform. So what is the expression? You can't catch bees with vinegar. You got to catch them with honey, or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like,
people think you're just going to bombard someone. Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't just come on here so I can hammer you. Like, they're going to just, no, they're just not going to do it. So,
So, I mean, that's essentially what I was doing to build that trust, to have him on. And then obviously, the fallout, he's like, hey, send me your questions, which I was an idiot, and I did. And then the next, I did catch COVID, so I couldn't do the stream, but it was shitty that he took my questions, went on his channel and did a live. Yeah, he shouted me out, but does that really do anything for my platform? I wanted him here. That was the main reason of it. So anyway, we'll get up to the video here. We'll do the playthrough, and it's entertaining, I'll tell you.
Clear the air. So
I think it would be good for him if he spoke truthful and things like that. I think it could be a good thing.
All right, let's get these guys here.
What have I missed so far, guys? I literally just sat back down on my.
I just realized Ari's name is
Bob's just telling his story of his.
What's that?
No, I said I just realized Ari's name in this is the Lentil Savant. Just goes to show how
that's good.
Ari's the best. His experience with TPG.
Right.
Oh, there he is. That actually is Anthony. All right, hang on one second. We got Lakota. It says, good evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much. $5 super chat. All right, look at this. It's true. We actually got. Is that you? Can you just confirm your voice? Sorry, there's just so many trolls. We need to make sure we.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. All right. let's get you three up top because you guys.
Yeah, we're watching ourselves.
Actual people who do anything.
And there's a lot of hats.
All right, so where should we start this, gentlemen? I guess, Anthony, you have something. You came on, so I'm sure you have something to say. So let's start there, I guess, right?
Well, for 1 second, I have a flight boarding in 5 minutes, but I'll board last.
I should try to drink at the same time as myself.
But no, you know what? I wanted
That's
to
literally why I just put you up to the screen so you're not sitting next to yourself. And the funny thing is, we have the same outfits on that we did that night.
I mean, black t-shirt is like 80% of my wardrobe.
Yeah, mine too. And I came out of my mom's womb with a fucking hat on, so and I'm bald as fuck, so I don't care.
I wanted to come on because
I like this long pause, by the way.
I haven't denied anything. I haven't hidden from anything. And you know, Bob and Wesley, I'm gonna tell you straight up, just like I fucking said on my video. Like, I confided in you, Bob. You recorded my conversation when I was confiding in you. And
we hung out one time in person. Confide in your friends. You robbed.
Yeah, because you know what? I stayed in your apartment, or no, not your apartment, your house. I spent the night at your house. I spent the night at your house with you and your fiance, with your kids sleep, and we went and did my whole charade where I was trying to get my Richard Mille.
Yeah.
Like, why would you mention where your kids sleep? I don't know. That part just kind of rubbed me wrong. Like, was that an intimidation tactic? I don't know. Like, maybe I'm being a little too sensitive about it, but I don't know. I just thought that was a weird thing to say to someone else.
It was almost like, it felt like he was like almost like intimidated. Like, I know where you live type of stuff, and I know your kid, that
right,
kind of
right.
vibe.
Like, first you would take it as like, oh, we're close friends, right? Because
Right.
I slept where your kids are. But then if you really like diagnose it and peel back the layers, it's almost like psychologically putting in your head, like, I've been where your kids sleep. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a creepy thing to say. I don't know.
It's kind of creepy. Carrie H says Anthony is creepy. All right, you got a $2 super chat from Basil Bezos. I'm trying to keep a low profile, company hat on. All right, dude.
Go back. You know what? Yeah, I had a lot of trust in you because you did a lot more for me. Yeah, hang on. You're gonna.
Oh no, I'm next to myself.
You're gonna let me fucking talk, or you're gonna keep talking shit? Let me talk.
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. I spent the night at your house, and we talked a lot. We sat on your patio that night. We sat on your patio that next morning for an hour and a half, and we talked. I told you a lot of shit. And guess what? You're fucking smart. You're successful. Who the fuck else am I going to confide in? Some person I sold one watch to a date just one time? No.
Just to address this real quick. Bernard with a 1090. I don't know what. Ruples? Super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, dude. Thanks for coming to check out the stream.
I confide in people.
See, now how weird is that? Like, what kind of statement is that? Who would I confide in? Somebody with a date just? Like, why do you go to what they have? Like, who do I confide in? How about somebody close to you? Like a good friend. Not like a person who wears a certain watch. Interesting mindset.
I think that's just all how his brain connects. Because, like, you'll notice too, and you hear me kind of piping at him later about, like, everything with you is social media. And I think because that's the only thing that he has. Like, that's all he's got. Like, all the stuff that the tangible things that he has always been fictitious. It's not his shit. Like, it's been rented, or it's been stolen, or allegedly stolen, or it's been, it just hasn't been his stuff. And the funny thing about it, I went back today and watched videos from when he was in Dallas. He seemed so much more level-headed. He seemed like he was so much more put together. And the funny thing about it, and I've always said this, if he probably would have played the straight and narrow, he would have been in some way that I say this, like, that guy. He would have been that guy. I think he probably would have been successful.
Well, he could definitely sell a watch. The problem is, he can't, he put the cart before the horse. It's like, if you made 3,000, 10,000, whatever on a sale, it could be a little more level-headed. Don't blow it all on like a Lambo down payment when you haven't even, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You got to crawl before you can walk.
Right. And he wanted to run right away. So,
yeah.
All right, let's keep playing through here. Just tell me if you want to stop. We'll talk.
successful, have been through the ringer, have been up and been down, like you told me you had been. Same with you, Wesley. I talked to you because you told me you've been up, you've been down. I told you from the very fucking start.
Let's get this in quick. Real Curly says, I'm here because of JJ's king of drama. Brian, he's still waiting for that TPG interview. Thanks, Curly. I appreciate you, dude.
Curly's got a lot of good insight. That's a guy it's good to have on.
I should just want me to drop the link for him?
I mean, that's up to you. We'll be on here for about 6 hours if Curly comes on. But
well, maybe if he's around towards the end, I'll pop him on.
Curly's very insightful. I'll tell you that much. But
Bernardo's gets a super important. This exposed for the community. Absolutely, dude. We definitely appreciate it. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing it. We got here, listen, I'm going to be straight up. I'm not a watch YouTube channel anymore, but what we do is true crime over here, or potential true crime. And we love to expose the scam and scammers as well, too. And that's why I think that this story needs legs. And that's why I believe that JJ did this as well, opened up his platform to do this, to get this out, because, everybody needs to know. And ultimately what happens is this puts a stain on the gray market. When you have someone that's out there that's like this, that's trashing the industry, they need to be brought to light, and they need to be, so people just know, like, don't deal with this person anymore.
It also puts fear in a lot of collectors, which is what my platform caters to. Like, everybody's kind of like, oh fuck, now who do we trust? Which always leads me back to buy from the correct people that have been in business a long time.
Of course, and we know the names.
Right. Anybody who's around, and if you haven't been around, do some research first, and it's very easy to find out who's the players that have been around for 20 years and aren't dealing out of a backpack or whatever. But I don't mostly do drama, but this does affect the community, and we do it from time to time when it's necessary. So I mean, it's a work in progress. I mean, all I can say is stay tuned, because I have
it's gonna be
I have a few more guests coming. This is gonna be it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and I suggest everybody go up there. Just click on the link. It's pinned to the top. So subscribe to JJ's channel, because he's going to have more TPG content that comes out. So, all right, let's keep playing through this.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The shit I was dealing with, not the debt, but I told you about the hate. I told you before I walked in your house that day, and I'm not going to say where. At the beach. And you've been that. No, hang on. Let me finish, Wesley.
Right,
I told you.
Let me talk.
I will. I'll let you say everything you want. But I told you before I ever walked in your house, that first time when we were delivering all those watches to you, I told you the kind of hate that I get on social media. And I said, if you let me film you, there's a chance you're going to get some
watch how he
backlash.
throws him under the bus.
I didn't know you were going to be wearing your company shirt, or I would have told you to change it. But we were already I didn't think of it. But I told you the very first time I met you in person, when you walked out there and met me and my videographer, I said, there's a chance you're going to get some backlash. No, I told you before we even flew out there, and you said you were okay with it. You don't give a fuck about haters because you're more successful than all of them.
Because you're more successful. He tries to throw Wesley under the bus.
You've been telling. The only reason I'm on here tonight is because you keep telling people you didn't know who I was. You didn't know I had a business partner. You didn't know I did this blackout stunt. Yes, you did.
Hey, listen,
look at Ari.
I've defended you from day one that
smiling.
You told me you had haters on Reddit. I looked my name up. I had haters on Reddit. I told everybody there
Ari's loving
I believe that you were telling the truth because of that. Everything I saw about me was a lie. I defended you through the end. I had so many people tell me that you were a piece of shit, and I didn't believe them. I defended you every day. I defended you. In the end,
you said you didn't do it. And you said you didn't do it. You told people the other day on your live interview that you didn't do enough due diligence to me, that you didn't know all this stuff about me. You didn't know I had a former partner. And that's bullshit. That's the only reason I'm on here, because everything y'all fucking keep saying, I told you every bit of it. Not the first time you met me, no. You spent over $1 million with me before you knew all of this. But when I met you in person at your beach house, I told you everything. And every single time we talked since then, I told you everything about me. It was less than a month later that I told you about my situation. And I started talking to you about it. And Bob, for you, it was less than.
Dude, I think that's the setup. So he said, I met you, and then it was about a month after I started talking to you about my situation. So he saw Wesley as a cash cow, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're going to find similarities with both of them and how he targets someone. And maybe it's just my brain, and I could be totally wrong. This is not facts. This is just our opinions here. But right? A guy who works with his hands, built up a successful plumbing company, didn't necessarily go to business school or, anything like that. And then you have Bob, worked really hard at creating a roofing business, worked with his hands. Again, similar story. Started making lots and lots of money in a trade where you necessarily don't have to go to a business school and learn about business contracts. And it seems to be the same type of target. Guys who are interested in making some money.
Guy that
had to work hard, got a little break, and then they see another opportunity to make a little fast money. Different, and I just want to stress, Bob's situation is not Wesley's situation. They're different. Bob just wanted to sell some watches and never got paid for them. Wasn't as involved as like what Wesley was doing, as to my understanding. But he was trying to talk Bob into giving him $1 million, $1.5 million to put into his business as well. So I feel like he kind of goes for the same type of person, someone who's been successful in business, worked hard to get there, now wants to try to get a little bit quicker. I don't want to say easy money, but easy money, I guess, who's not really educated in business contracts and things of that nature, or maybe didn't study that in school. Not to say they're not educated. They're obviously very smart guys with successful careers, but
100%.
Maybe they don't understand the ins and outs of what Anthony exactly is doing. Until it all just kind of went, sometimes, when you roll a snowball downhill, it gets away from you, right? You just can't keep up with it.
Well, yeah, that's what I seen. Like when I was going back and looking at this, I'm like, wow, he fucking said like, it was like a month after. And I'm like, I think this is what he does with everybody. He just gets in, he glitz and glams them for a little bit. And then he probably starts talking to them about, hey, this is how I did it. I could totally pull you in if you want to invest some money in it. Or, if you want to be, I always thought too, was like, hey, you be the supplier, you buy the watches, I'll sell them, give you a cut, I'll take my cut, that type of stuff too. So I was like, and you're right. It just seems like the same similar story as it goes on. It's almost like that month turning point. And then he comes out and he's like, hey, I got to tell you about my situation to try to make them feel bad for him or something like that. So,
right. And just to point out, Bob did come out as soon as he found out. And that's the reason why Wesley, started telling his story as well. So Bob just wasn't having it from the jump.
Right.
Like as soon as he found out, he wasn't getting paid right away. Like it was like automatically put him on blast. He and you got to give him credit. Like he found people's watches, gave it back to them, used, I know John Buckley helped him out. Shout out to our man, John Buckley.
Yeah.
47th Street legend. If you know, helped, with his TikTok presence, which is huge. Him and his guys from Vupen. I mean, they got like 3 million subs. They were able to locate the person whose watch it was. I mean, credit to Bob. He could have just kept that as a partial payment, 20 grand. I mean, it's 10% of what he owes, but it's still 10%. And he was like, no, these are all going back to the rightful owners.
Right.
I'm not getting my money back on the back of someone else. He's paying me back, so.
Yeah, exactly. All right, dude, we'll keep playing through this a little bit.
And 2 weeks later, because you know why, Bob? Because you were going to invest $1 million to $1.5 million in me.
There you go.
And I couldn't let myself do it. That's why I reached out to you and told you what was going on, because you kept talking to me. Remember the fucking call when I told you about this, Bob? Was the call that you were going to plan your flight to LA to come see my operation and see everything, where you were going to put $1 million to $1.5 million in me. And I said no.
You brought up investment.
Pause this really quick. Toyota Mode, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for the $4.99. He says, Brian, JJ, True Crime Community. Good evening, everyone. Another super solid dude. Toyota Mo's like a regular guy over on JJ stream. So yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's such a good dude. Basil Bezels with $1.99. He says, do we know who Anthony's two big investors in TPG are? Well, he said here in a video, it's a friend. He owes like a best friend that he owes like $2 million. And we'll hear about how he bought into the LA lifestyle with that guy's money. And I don't know who the other investor is. JJ, do you know who it is? Or
no, he cut himself short. He started saying it and then he just totally.
Oh yeah, because he said, I'm not gonna say that. So
right. So it's kind of a mystery, I guess.
Yeah, the mystery person. All right.
Dude, I liked you and trusted you until I found out that you robbed me.
Exactly.
What's so hard to understand about that? I invited you into my home to help you find a watch that I thought was stolen from you, right? I brought you to that store. I walked in with you. Dude, I liked you. I trusted you. And I thought, this guy sells a lot of fucking watches, and I like the guy. It wasn't.
And you don't think there's listen, and you don't think that when someone gets in a fucking bind and someone actually gets
$5
like
million
to a
is
point,
not a bind. It's not a debt. It's stolen watches.
where's the 5 million? Hey Bob, you know what? Hey, since you recorded my conversation and you're running this, tell me where the 5 million's at. Because Wesley has my sheet. Yeah,
no.
Please.
I got your sheet plus your text messages from everybody else you owe that you told me, and I haven't put. That's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah?
But the number
Does it add up? Okay, does it add up to 5 million?
Yes, your numbers add up to nearly 4.7. Yes.
You told me 5
if you
million.
want to call it out, whoever your guy is in Texas, you owed him over $1 million before you went to LA.
And my guy in Texas isn't saying a fucking word. You know why? Because you don't know the whole fucking story. You guys are spinning this fucking thing. Listen, you guys, shut.
What's that, JJ?
That doesn't mean you don't owe it to him, right?
Right.
Jessica is asking if this is Ali. No, this is JJ. Ali's not here.
Yeah, Ali's not.
He was saying that he owes the guy in Texas $1 million before he ever went to LA, and he goes, and his refute is, but he's not complaining. But that doesn't make a difference. You still owe it to him, right? Like it's like this is like circular logic, right? This is what grifters do when they can't answer for themselves. They just twist into circles. It's like he was the one who said he owes $5 million. Now he's kind of telling them, well, do I owe $5 million? Well, you just said you did on your own video, so. Yeah. I don't know. Am I mistaking? Or I think it's just trying to cause confusion, right? Because simplicity, leads to getting down to the bottom of things. So if you just keep creating chaos and throwing curveballs, it's like you can't figure it out.
Right.
But everybody sees through it.
Yeah, of course. No, it's cool. Wing says LTL podcast. A while back, and one of the investors was in your video. You covered it. It was when they were on board 75 hard one book day crap. I'd have to go back
on the boat. Is that
on the boat. Oh yeah, the boat. Yeah, I remember that.
I don't even know about the boat. I just deciphering what Wings is saying.
So much, dude. There's so much.
I never followed this back then, so like all the old stuff I don't know about, like.
Yeah, I archived the blackout video, so that's on my channel if anybody wants to go back and watch it. Carrie H says total grifter. Basil says for someone who's totally in the wrong, he sure knows how to talk people into who he owes money to. It's all right. We'll go back to the video here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. This is it's really cool. It's an honor to have JJ over here. Thank you, man.
Fuck up. You guys are spinning this fucking story like you know what's talking about. You're saying it's a Ponzi scheme. I told you 5 million, Bob, because that is what the true. Listen, Bob. I told you 5 million because that's what I know about. That's what the true debt is to me, to be completely debt free. I never told you what that involves. Guess what? There's $2 million in debt with a best friend of mine that was helping me buy my way into the LA scene. My plan moving to LA was to buy my way into every circle there, because that's how you fucking make it in LA, is you get in all the top circles that you can't get in as a nobody. I was a nobody moving to LA, but guess what? When you drive a nice car, when you go to nice restaurants, when you are in Soho House, guess what? You get in those fucking circles. And that's what my boy was doing. He was funding that lifestyle, not your.
What are you say, JJ?
All right. So like his point is that the money he blew was from $2 million from a friend, right? Is what I'm gathering, to get into the circles. Right. So now the first thing is, did your friend know about that? Is that like what you explained to him? Like, hey, I'm going to use this as capital to look. No. Well, I mean, he could have. We don't know, right?
Right.
But
right.
I don't believe that was the case. If I had to guess, but could be. Right. Like if I'm like, hey, Brian, you want to buy into my business? The first $2 million you give me is going to be to buy a Lambo and look cool, so people want to do business. But
could be.
You could think that's a great idea, right? You could say, "Are you fucking out of your mind?" That's a terrible idea. I don't know.
I'd be like, "When are you gonna fucking pay me back?"
But the point is, he's saying, "But it's not your fucking watch money." All right. So then, where is my watch money?
Right.
Like that's the part that like I don't get. You're telling me what you did with. You partied with someone else's $2 million.
So where's my money?
Then where is mine then? This is like when you ever lend someone $20, they're like, oh, I got it. It's like, yeah, I know you got it. When am I going to get it? That's what I want to know. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that would be my first question is, if I'm going to give you all right, like, let's go back to your point for a second. You said, I'm going to give you $2 million. I'm going to use that to get, the upfront start, the Lambo, the lifestyle, the this and that. The first fucking question I'd be asking you, the money is, when am I going to get it back?
Right. Or if you're investing in the company, what's my ROI? What's my return on investment? Like there has to be, some type of structure. I mean, there doesn't have to be. You could be totally irresponsible about it, but there should be,
And I think there was some irresponsibility here with money and watches. So
the thing is just though he veers. It's like you're veering off. The guy wants to know where his money is. If you took $2 million to party, that's fine. Okay, well, explain to me why you didn't. You sold my watches, right? You made a profit,
right?
You're supposed to keep your profit and give me my agreed upon amount. You didn't do that. So where is that? Like that's the part he just never answers. Because later on, I do ask about specifics, and he goes, "I'm not giving specifics."
Because I'm going to tell you, he doesn't know where the money is because it's shifted so much.
Because it did go into that lifestyle, probably.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. But it's shifted so much now because I think that it's like everybody said, it's a Ponzi scheme. You're taking out of one bucket to fill another, taking out and it just keeps going and going and going and going.
I hesitate to use those words just because I don't want to, I mean. People could have that opinion, and I could possibly have that opinion. Yeah. I just don't put it out because I'm not qualified to make that judgment. I want to see what, if if that ever comes out through like law enforcement professionals or not.
Maybe a Ponzi, alleged Ponzi.
right. You just to cover. It's not. It's not worth speculating over. My opinion.
Yeah. Of course.
Your fucking watch, okay. So get that fucking straight.
Can I touch on 30 seconds? And if you want to cuss, I'll get you a first class flight. But we'll be cool about that.
So let me just jump in here real quick with a question. Do you expect them? Not to be upset. Like I hear like you're angry at them being angry, but I'm just curious. Like, don't you think it's kind of a natural reaction for them to kind of like? I mean, I would be pissed. I'd be cursing you all over the place too if I lost my money to watch things. So, like, I guess what I'm asking is,
you only lost your money. You only lost your money. Hang on. You only lost your money when I disappear and I quit paying. I came out on every platform.
You lost your money. When someone
but you haven't lost your money yet, Bob. Yeah, but you haven't lost your money yet until I disappear and quit paying.
Well, I mean, I've
been doing what I can to pay for. Okay, well, didn't disagree.
You sell the watch, they should get the money.
JJ, can I have 30 seconds?
Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say a couple things. So, Anthony, I'll say that for 90%, you're telling the truth about me and you. I defended you. They said, why would I invest in you? I said, you sold me over $1 million worth of watches, and you kept your word every day. I was being
clear. Every watch was perfect, right? And every watch was perfect. And delivery was on time, right?
Hey, let me talk. Everything was perfect. I sent you 4 or 5 watches because you asked for a big investment. I wasn't safe. I sent you 4 or 5. You sold them. You paid my money back. I sent you more. You paid the money back. It was all good until 2 weeks before it ended. I knew nothing. I knew about all your drama, your hate. I knew nothing about the stolen shit or whatever you want to call it. That's when it all went south with me. And if you say anything different, I can prove it wrong. I've said that every deal we had was good until the end.
And Wesley, let me ask you this really quick. If you were never interested, when I told you everything, if you were never interested in really helping me, why did you ask for a list of everyone I owed money? You think I would have ever sent that list? Listen, hang on. No, for real. You think I would have ever sent that list? No, you weren't.
I was willing to help until you lied to Z on the very last day. And he can
lied to Z about what?
You sold some bullshit watch for $30,000 that was mine.
So if anybody doesn't know who Z was one of Anthony's associates. He was in helping Anthony with his business. And he was very well known on camera and to be in the TPG videos towards the end. Real World Curly says the secret investor is made up straw man. He used to buy time because the real people he ripped off is slowly coming forward with real numbers. That's why Tugger is pissed. And if anybody doesn't know, Anthony's nickname is Tugger. You can Google it and figure it all out for yourself. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, you could see everything on Reddit, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But it's a good point. It's definitely a possibility, right? Like if I'd say, oh, my best friend gave me the $2 million, that's the money I spent. And that leads back to what we were saying before. Well, then where did my money go that you couldn't pay me?
Right.
There could be no best friend. The thing is, there's so many bullshit stories. You can't believe anything. You have to just automatically assume it's a lie to start with, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah. All right, we'll go back here.
And he was supposed to pay me that morning in person at my office.
I talked to you the night before. Listen, no, Wesley, I talked, dude. I've got the fucking conversation. You know what? There's no proof because we don't have it. I talked to you the night before, and you told me if I can sell watches. It was a Thursday evening. You told me if I can sell watches of yours over the next week,
So, question from Bob for JJ. So, Dr. Bob, which is a huge supporter of my channel member, really, really nice guy, says, JJ, is there any type of written contract with these sales?
I am not familiar. I mean, my answer is there should be. There definitely should be. I would always advise having in writing any deal you're making with anyone. Do I know personally what they did? No. Nobody came forward with any paperwork. So
a lot of the stuff's like handshake and stuff like that.
Send me the watch. Here's the label. Here's the wire. Done. You know, like you kind of have the transactions, maybe a couple emails. You know, when you send the photos, it depends how close you are. You know what I mean? Like most, like if you don't know somebody, right, the way it would work is they would say, send me a picture of the watch with the serial number, the date, you know, you can kind of see the condition.
They'll
offer you a price,
paperwork, right?
Well, they'll offer you a price based upon what you say. Like if you say used in good condition, if you agree on that, they'll send you a label. You ship it once they inspect it. The next day they'll wire you, you know, the funds. And you know, usually you get. I know when you purchase, you usually, you know, you should get at least you know, a receipt with that. As far as selling, depends if you ask for one. I would imagine you do. Would they? I don't know. They never seem to mention that. So who knows? But just advice out there for anyone buying or selling, definitely get paperwork.
Yeah. Tsunami, one of my says U.S. tracking signature could be looked at as a contract.
Right. Sure. Plus, you should have email or something. Like there should be something where you're, you know, agreeing upon a price and a product. And the thing is, it's tricky with consignment, right? And I hear people saying like some lame argument, like, well, they could sell it the first day and then like you have 30 days to pay it, so they're getting interest-free loans for 30 days. It's like that's not robbing you. That's just industry standard. They have 30 days to send you your money. So, like, if you don't want to agree to it, they're not robbing you. You don't have to agree to the terms. Right. You don't have to do the deal. But they have 30 days to send you the money, basically. In most cases, even if they sell it on day one, usually they'll pay you right away. But the reason they wait is because, let's say now they sell it to someone else day one. They want to wait for it to get there, the person to inspect it, make sure they're happy with it. Like they're not just going to send it to you and then the person sends back the watch. Then what do they say? Give me the money back. See, these are people who say this are ignorant. They've never actually owned the business. They're just talking heads and they never actually did anything in their life, so they come up with these ridiculous ideas. Like the average watch dealer who does a 30-day thing, like it's something you agree upon. Even if they put it in the bank and making 2 weeks worth of interest off you, it's like that's their prerogative. You know, you don't think banks are making money on your money that you put in there? Like,
of course they are.
Yeah, they're giving you 4% and they're lending it out at 8%. Are you having a heart attack that they're making money? That's what they're there for, to make money. So the point of it is like after the 30-day period or whatever you agree upon, you know, like he keeps saying, oh, I didn't disappear, so you didn't lose your money. No, that's not how it works. You sold the watch.
Right.
It's been X amount of days. You have to pay me by that point. That's why there should be some type of contract.
Right.
Yeah. In my opinion.
Caterbug's criminal charges, maybe civil court. I would be very. The thing about civil court is you can sue anybody you want. You can get a judgment. They might not just pay you. I mean, there's a million people out there that have been sued and have judgments and they don't pay.
Well, the thing is, it's always worth to get a judgment because 20 years from now or whatever, if they ever do get money, they will have to pay you. So it's always good. Don't you know, even if you then never pay you, it's still worth getting, you know, just
no, you're right. Yeah.
For the case that one day they might. It's just a shitty situation. Like to say like I didn't run away. Well, that doesn't matter. Like, okay, but you didn't give me my money, you know, and it doesn't.
Right. So Chris Com says, I knew something was off with the first robbery. Dude got wasted at the tables in Vegas, lost all his clients' money, staged a robbery, got away with it, got greedy, dropped the ball. Might very well be. All right, let's go back up here.
And when people say like, oh, you know, even him in particular, like, well, I could claim bankruptcy. See, you can, but what they're not telling you is they don't, because they don't want to open their books up. Right. Because that's when you start getting in trouble.
Oh yeah.
If you pay someone $1 a month or whatever, and you know, I'm trying to pay it back, and you're avoiding the bankruptcy, then it's different. You know, it's still, I mean, in my opinion, still might be considered a civil matter. I mean, again, I'm not an expert on that field, so I can't say, but that argument is ridiculous. Like, well, at least I didn't claim bankruptcy. It's like, no, we know why you didn't claim bankruptcy, because now you'd have to open up your books and you'd be subject to, you know,
IRS and all that taxes,
all kinds of stuff. Right.
It's funny because real quick, Dane Cook, many years ago now, his brother, his own blood brother, you know, the comedian Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Okay. His own blood brother was squirreling money from him, and it was like 20 million. It added up to be like 10 or 20 million dollars, right? And he figured it out. And essentially what was happening all these years, his brother was making fake statements and giving it to like the business advisors, right? But meanwhile, he's squirreling all this money. So something had happened. He was going to move. He was going to move out to LA, and he was going to move his headquarters out there because he was going to buy a house. And he said, they don't like when you're in business and you have something out here and here because of taxes and all that stuff. So he said, I was going to move my operation out to LA when I bought my house. He said, I got a new advisor. And he said, that's when my brother started getting really weird. He didn't want to give up any of the statements of the books. So he says, I lay down one night, I'm in bed with my girlfriend. He says, I wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. And he looks at it, he goes, I think my brother stole all my money. And he goes down to the bank the next day, has a conversation with the bank manager. They go to look in the accounts. There's nothing there. All the money is gone. And he's like, fuck. And he goes, but what do I do? He goes, if I call the authorities, this might take forever. But he goes, you know what? I remember I did some stuff for like people back in Boston for the IRS, like a comedy thing. It's taxes. He said, I fucking called him. And I was like, my brother stole some money, and there might be some taxes involved. He said, literally within 24 hours, they were walking out there arresting him. And he's taxes, you don't, the IRS wants their money.
The other ones that got Al Capone, right?
Right.
I can allocate that money towards paying debt that I have, and I can put it towards you because you said you were going to be the last one I paid. That's what I fucking did.
No, so
okay?
That's not going
I sold them. Listen,
within
dude, Wesley, you told me sell whatever you can. I want to see what you're capable of. Sell everything of mine you can, and you can allocate that money towards paying debt to other people and put it towards my debt. I sold $400,000 worth of watches of yours in 3 days, and I took one of those watches.
I've got the screenshot where we said you could take the profits and pay your debtors back. The profits. I'm in the whole million. I'm not going $1.5 million.
Wesley, I told you. I was like, I asked you personally. I was like, if I can sell several pieces, can I pay some people off with this money and just put that debt towards what I owe you? Then when we come full time with you.
I want to ask you one question. Do you think the reason people lost faith in you is because you started like the video series, like how you were the road to redemption, right, to pay it back, and then like you kind of stopped doing it after the 5th day? Do you think that was a signal to like the internet? Like,
Do you think I care about a bunch of fucking haters that have never spent any
money
with
me?
Okay, give me a second.
I'm asking if you. I didn't ask you if you care.
See how he tries to twist it, like, well, I don't care what they think, but that's not what we asked you. We asked you if you think that's why people don't believe you. You said, I'm going to film my road to redemption, and 5 days later, you totally quit.
Right. Dude, if you don't see the look of defeat, that's it right there. Up against the wall, head up in the air. I mean, it's defeat.
Ask you if you think that's the reason people lost faith in you. That's what I asked.
People got so mad at this question too. They're like,
what's that?
People got so mad at that question, like lost faith. Who would believe him? Like, I don't know. I think it was a great setup question. I don't understand what they didn't like about that.
I thought it was a great question.
You see how weird it was. Like, I just want to point out because, like, we kind of switched to a different topic when I said that. But and nobody caught it, like he already owed Wesley $1 million at that point, right? Now he agreed to let him sell watches for him after that. See, this is where people start getting cloudy about it. That's why I want to touch on it. He took it as you could keep the profit on it to pay off your other people that you owe money. Anthony's saying that he was going to let him keep the whole thing. Why would he let him keep the whole thing? So now he's in the hole $1.5 million. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
So he still continued to try to screw him, I think. which is got kind of cut short there. I think it's important to pull that back up and like
I'll pull it back up.
I mean, we don't have to go over it again, but you know what I mean. Just touch back on it. I should say. But what a weird thing, right? You owe someone $1 million. He's still trying to help you. Says, all right, here's 400,000 in watches. So maybe you can make, I don't know, 40,000 profit on that, 50,000, 80,000, who knows, to pay some people back. And he wants to keep the whole 400,000 worth of watches instead. Like, it's just weird. I don't know, man.
So Real World Curly says, remember when Grand Caliber formed and they had to settle all the tax debt TPG left? I do remember that. Bet he differed from the TBG 2.0 taxes. Imagine what he owes the IRS. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get crazy. I'll just back this up like 2 seconds.
Okay, give me a second.
I'm asking if you. I didn't ask you if you care. I asked you if you think that's the reason people lost faith in you. That's what I asked.
Who lost faith in me? A bunch
of
people.
Just like the general audience you were speaking to online.
Right there.
Right?
You said you have haters, Anthony. You're like, the haters always come after
the haters, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
the haters
you said it yourself. You just said it 10 minutes ago when this conversation started. And you
let me ask you a question. Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Victim in everything, man.
Dude,
I was like pissed now.
Let me ask you guys.
He doesn't want to answer it.
$5 million in debt.
Now.
Right.
You have two people. You have two people here on your screen.
That's circular.
I owe Wesley $1 million. I owe Bob $194,650.
Right.
I forget. Maybe I got the last part wrong, but it's 100. Let's just call it 195.
Okay.
Guess what? Bob and Wesley are here live.
Throwing hooks.
Where's the other $4 million worth of people?
Well, they don't want to be in the public eye. They probably don't want to be in the public eye, right? I mean, I don't know.
They want to get they want to get paid because they're not out here making a fucking fuss trying to shame me and ruin every chance.
Making a fuss like this is like he took a couple of cookies, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't make a fuss. It's fucking millions of dollars. Where are those people? I don't know. They're not here. Like, you want to tell us who they are and we can see if they want to come on. Like, and look, I get it. A lot of people, and that's why I said they probably don't want to be in the public. Like, there's a lot of people who don't want to come forward. They're embarrassed. They're, whatever, or they just don't want their names out there. They don't want the Reddit trolls attacking them. Shout out to the Reddit army, by the way.
Yeah, right. Or
half of them don't like it.
Maybe they are getting a lawsuit together and they don't want to put themselves out there. Maybe they are pressing criminal charges or talking to lawyers. So, by the way, the ultimate roast moment's coming up. When he talks about that's why I sit my a YouTube channel and I'm $5 million in debt.
Yeah, that was weird.
I started doing the day. Let's hang on. I started doing the daily thing because I truly had every fucking intention. I still had every intention of paying because every fucking thing I touch, every person I touch gets saturated by all these fucking haters. I went to Cooch.
That's your fault, Anthony, and that's the problem.
Thank you, Brian, for pointing that out.
Anthony, you just texted my ops manager and said to meet him tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the restaurant you had lunch on the first day. Don't be late. Come along.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I think I would make a fuss.
Why would he do that? Why do you think he did that?
Maybe he's going to try to. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I have no idea. I kind of cut him off with a question. I wish I would have caught that. There was just so much going on during this, which is why he came on, right? To create some havoc, right? To not let him his whole story.
It was odd that he did do that.
Huh? Meet me alone. Maybe he wants to try to set him up. Who knows? I don't know. Interesting.
So let's talk.
$1 million, right? I mean, I would make a fuss. You don't think these guys deserve to make a fuss? And I mean, like, I have no dog in this fight.
You know what, Wesley? I text you that. I texted him that because I was fucking
empathy for these guys that owe this.
You can't fuck with me, Anthony. If you want to fuck with me, I'll buy the flight. I mean,
the problem is, all you guys are talking about this shit, like what's he gonna do? Blah blah blah. What do you want? Like Wesley and Bob, I want to know what you really want. You want me to end up in prison? Because guess what? I've already told this in my last video that you guys have enough money that if I disappear, you're not gonna fucking lose. You're not, Bob. You're not gonna quit.
It's so ignorant.
You're not gonna move out of your house, Wesley. You're not gonna quit doing what you do. You're fucking fine. But guess what? There's other people out there that I'm trying to fix the mess that I'm in. And you know what, Wesley? The only reason I'm on here is because, dude, you fucking have been texting me for 2 months saying you were gonna sell all this stuff. I've opened up to. I've told you everything, mostly everything. And I confided in you. And I gave you every key to everything I had in this industry, and don't fucking tell me you don't in your other video. Don't fucking tell me
all it cost
nobody
you
put
was
you in
$1
your fucking
million.
WhatsApp groups. I did.
Yeah, it only cost you $1 million.
I was the only one that put you in WhatsApp groups.
You put me in 4, so you for $1
I
million.
put you in 4, and then I put you in 4. I put you in 4.
Yeah. I gotta bring this up real quick. Shout out to Dr. Bob. Shout out to Ari. He says Ari is a man after my heart. He just listens.
Yeah, Ari's great.
Yeah, Ari is great. That's awesome.
I put you in 4 WhatsApp chats, and now you have $6.5 million, and you can buy anything you fucking want in any industry. And you've been vetted by every fucking major dealer because I vouch for you.
If you think your word goes that far, you're full of shit. And if you can justify that I can sleep good at night because you stole $1 million from me, so I should just let it go, then you're wasting your time talking to us.
Wesley, I flew out to your fucking home and to your store, and I told you I'm here. I booked a one-way ticket to come work for you and Jason and do whatever you fucking wanted. I walked through your store and I told you everything I fucking know, and I told you I can blow this up. We can keep it as private as possible. This can look like your operation. I can run the back end. And you gave me every sense of hope that that's what you were going to do. And then the very next day, you told me you got a call from the FBI. Listen, the very next day, you told me you got a call from the FBI. And so you had to cut ties. And that's bullshit because I have a friend at the FBI and my name is not even on their fucking radar. Even after y'all called him.
That is the most ridiculous statement. First of all, if you have a friend in the FBI and you ask him about a case you have, you're a bad friend because they will lose their job. So if you really care about your friend, you wouldn't ask them like, hey, are they investigating me? They will never tell you. They would lose their pension. They'd probably get arrested themselves for leaking information. Yeah. So this fake friend at the FBI is a bullshit story. That I don't need to know. I don't know it for a fact, but to me, like if I was a betting man, I would put the house that's bullshit. There is no friend that's going to tell you you're not under investigation. They're not allowed to tell you. What are they going to say? Hey, Brian, I'm not supposed to tell you, but they're going to be kicking down your door in about 2 weeks. Like that doesn't work that way. It's not.
I'm sure that this friend told Anthony who really assassanated JFK.
it's a ridiculous.
Hey, I guarantee you they're watching now, Anthony.
Yeah. Look at Bob. Bob's just got his hands in his face.
Because anybody knows, like, the FBI agents are not going to give you a heads up, like, hey, buddy, just so you know.
Right.
We're on to you. you know when the FBI comes and knocks on your door and takes you away?
When they're going to take you away.
When they got you already. That's when they come.
Right.
And not before.
100%.
And you flew in on a Thursday. Friday morning, I got in my car and left because you were nothing but talk. It was all show. It was smoke. You were trying to con me in person like you did over the phone for 2 months. It's been
you think I was trying to con you in person?
Yes.
When I was sitting in your office, I sold $150,000 worth of watches, and I gave them your wire information. How was I trying to fucking con you?
Curly says, Brian, did you just say Wesley bought him $6 million in wholesale watches? I didn't catch that statement.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either.
I didn't catch it either. Go back and look at it later. I'm not going to do it. We're trying to push through this.
Bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. You sold one watch with my wire information, one. And the FBI has those transactions, to be clear, the ones that are not looking at you.
So the Meteorite Daytona and the John Mayer Daytona that were $205,000 that I sent you a wire for immediately. Exactly.
Yeah, you paid me that. You said you gave them, and you didn't do that at my office. You did that the week prior on Monday.
But the day that I was at your office, I put Jason and you on the phone for someone wanting to buy a John Mayer, a Paul Newman Daytona, and then another client that you were going to actually deliver it hand per. And I gave you all their information. I said, hey, here's the deal. Just apply the credit to what I owe you.
I got a question. I want to jump in here because this is kind of going all over the place. What happened once Bob gave you the watches to sell, like between then and him getting paid? Like what changed that?
I'm not going to talk about transactions. I'm not going to talk about money.
That's why he's upset with you, right? Because you didn't give him the money.
So listen, what I'm here to talk
he
about.
just literally went through the John Mayer deal, the Meteorite deal. Then when I asked him, Bob gave you watches to sell, you sold them. Why didn't he get paid? I'm not talking about that. I'm not going to talk about transactions. I'm not going to talk about money. But he literally just went through 3 transactions specifically in detail,
right?
Model type and everything before that.
Okay. Yeah.
paid yet, but like, isn't there some type of time expectancy? Like, hey, I give you a watch, you sell the watch, you pay me. Like, not in 10 years, but like, within a certain time frame.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say. And I told you, listen, here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about financials. I'm not going to talk about financials. I'm not going to talk about paying people. That's private. What I'm going to talk about is why
talking about it.
When I came out on public. Well, don't worry about getting to the bottom of this. You're not the fucking police. You're a YouTube channel. The point of me being on here is,
but I'm giving people a platform so they don't we're all watch collectors here.
Okay.
We're giving people a platform so they know what's going on, so they don't make mistakes.
But 99.9% of this platform don't have anything to do with my business. They never have had anything to do with my business, and they're involved in this. The two biggest people are right here on the channel. Guess what? Right. I can guarantee there's nobody else. Okay. And there's nobody else on this channel that I actually owe money, because I talk to those people on a daily basis. And they're sitting back hoping to get paid. But I have a whole community of people out there. You guys are trying to keep.
This is the game. It's like, if you say anything, you'll never get paid. They all use the same move on you, right? It's like, well, I'll pay you really slow, if ever. But if you say anything, then I'll never pay you. It's the same.
Or if I go to jail, you're never going to get paid.
Right. It's the same move they pull on everybody.
It's like, is that like, I don't know. That's not like strong arming, is it? Like, what do they call that? It's like intimidation. It's like intimidation.
Yeah, well, it's forcing you into a bad situation either way, however you want to look at it. To say like, yeah, I know I owe you, and when I pay you, and if you bust my balls, I'm never going to pay you, because then, or if you tell anyone, I'm not going to be able to give it to you. It's kind of, I guess, kind of
like blackmail.
I mean, like, it sounds that way to me. Either way, it's like, I don't know exactly what it is. Like I said, I'm not qualified to specifically pinpoint what it is, but
we're not.
It's not right. It's not right for sure. It's like, if you sell something, you're supposed to pay within a certain amount of time, a reasonable time frame. Right. So it's just at that point, I really wanted to lose my shit, but I was trying to just maintain, because I wanted to let him keep going. You know what I mean?
All right, let's go.
Very frustrating.
We're getting
what cost?
Yeah.
So the next guy gets screwed over? I don't understand. What, like,
that's like, where does the money come from? That's right? Are you going to screw over someone else who sells a watch and give it to them? Like, that's what Bob wanted to prevent. That's why he came forward right away, because he knew. He said, if
it's at this level, then there's got to be other people behind me.
Right. And if I get my money back, it's going to be off someone else.
Right.
Someone else is going to get hurt. I mean, do we know that for a fact? We don't, but that was his feeling. That's why he let it out right away.
Of course. Yep. I agree.
He thinks it's going to happen.
I don't think Anthony.
A little humility will go a long way for you, instead of blaming everybody else. Say, hey, I missed.
What do you fucking? Okay, let me ask you this.
I don't know. You're a grown man. I'm not figuring out your mess. Don't ask me. It's not my job. I would have never been in this.
For someone that owes a lot of money, I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt. I'm actually out here.
Dude, he roasted himself.
Yeah, it's like if I saw you outside of a bank and I'm running out with bags full of money, and you're like, "Well, you just got busted. What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?" It's like, well, too late now. Like, you fucked up already. I don't know. I wouldn't have been in this mess.
That's the ultimate roast, though. That's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and I'm $5 million in debt.
Yeah, you know what? He really, because in his brain he was going to say,
I think he thought he was going to get, I gotcha.
Yeah, like he was going to say, that's why you're sitting there and I'm living the life. But then he realized he's not living the life. Like he's in a shitstorm. But I don't know. Unless he's like, people do speculate that he's got money hidden. I don't know.
He probably does.
Who knows? I feel like
he's trying to do something.
What's that?
No, I just said I feel like I think he blows it quicker than he gets it. I don't know, but it could be wrong.
Could be wrong. I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt. I'm actually out here working and trying to do something.
That's your problem.
Because you know what? I'm flying to the next job where I can get some money to pay people back.
Okay.
The next job.
So where are we at on that list, Anthony? Just tell you that. I won't ever mention your name again. When am I going to get paid back?
As soon as I start having some money come in, you'll be on the list.
You're flying to your job.
So the next scam.
Okay, but you know what? I got to make some money first.
But you think that's normal? Let's say you sent me a $300,000 watch, and I said, yeah, and I'll pay you. I'll pay you. When? I'm not going to disclose that. I'll pay you.
You know what you guys' problem is? You keep focusing on the large amount and not the simple fact that I'm trying to do what I can. Okay. Guess what? How many people in this industry have we seen get in my same position? Seriously, look it up for the last 20 years. How many people have gotten in my same position and fucking ghosted? You don't think I could delete every fucking YouTube, every social media channel I have, and delete my numbers, delete my email, and hop on a fucking jet and get out of here?
Delete all his social media, right?
Yeah.
He deleted it all, right?
So if anybody doesn't want to know, real quick, I captured this today, and I'm sure that it's probably now deleted again. But he put a post out today. At about 8 hours ago, he said, I had a few people reach out because all my accounts were banned. I deactivated them. I'm focusing on what I have to do, and I don't need any distractions. I will deactivate them again tomorrow.
See the double speak? I was banned, but I deactivated. So you weren't banned. You deactivated them. And he just said in this, it's not like I'm deactivating my stuff and disappearing. Well, now you are.
And then you come back.
I don't understand the logic why people think that's a good enough answer. Well, I didn't disappear. It's like, well, because you can't. Where are you gonna go?
Like a girl, it's like a bad ex-girlfriend does, like or boyfriend or lover or whatever. They just kind of keep play that game, like, you know, I could just go away, but you know, I could be back around again. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just nothing speak. It's word salad. That's what he's serving up a word salad to you, like, you know. It's like, all right, so you have no plan of how you're gonna pay it back. You're flying around the country trying to what? Like, it sounds like you're plotting capers, right? Like, what is? You ever watch a movie, right? Like, someone's always flying around, like to the next job. Like,
what is that? Catch Me If You Can,
right? Or like Ocean's 11. Like, like you're flying around to what? To get the next job. It sounds ridiculous. Like, what's the job? You're just flying around randomly to look for jobs. I don't know. Hey,
well, he wanted to meet with Wesley's operations manager alone. So
I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's odd to me. I would love for him to come back on, and I did offer it just to ask more questions. I'm sure he'll be defensive about it, but it would still be.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to probably say this. He's going to pop up again soon.
He's more than welcome. I would love to. To hear
it. Just Me says, why has he not been arrested?
These things take a lot of time. If he's going to be, we don't know if he's going to be or not. If I was a betting man, I would say I think it's inevitable eventually, but either way, like we said before, they don't come get you till they got you. So I'm sure if they are, it's because of just logistics, putting everything together. Exactly. This is very complex. You know, there's, I'm sure, a ton of people to interview. Wesley's saying he's been interviewed. I mean, he said it in this. He's given transactional receipts and everything else. It's a long trail of pieces to put together. You know,
right? Yeah. All right, let's keep playing through.
No, I don't.
Right now, if I wanted to, but I'm not.
Because you're trying to.
I'm on a fucking live stream. I'm on a live stream where you guys can clearly figure out if it's DFW.
Out here, but I think a better approach would be, I want to figure out how to pay you. I don't have a timeline. Here's, you know, what I'm planning to do. I'll pay you back at this point. I think, but like, my thing is like, when you do I'm just giving you a little perspective. You can take it for what it is. I know I'm just a YouTuber in a basement somewhere, whatever.
I had to cut him
my thing is like, do you say it to yourself?
Because I knew that was coming, right? You just like, you know, the whole mom's basement.
You can see me, I'm laughing.
Right. Because I like, you know, you already hear the whole all the stupid shit you always hear.
Great.
It's like, God forbid you make a valid point. You're just a
YouTuber
in the mom's basement somewhere, right? Like, whatever.
So good.
Like, maybe I should stop saying, "Oh, everyone's just a hater" and this, that, and say, like, these guys are right. I fucked up, and now I need to figure out how to fix it. And Bob's right to be pissed at me. Wesley's right to be pissed at me. Like, that's how I would imagine someone would feel if they got themselves in a jam. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to condemn you or crucify you in any way.
You don't think I didn't talk to Wesley, and you don't think I didn't talk to Bob, and you don't and you don't think I didn't talk to every single one of you don't think I didn't talk to Bob, and you don't think I didn't talk to Wesley, and you don't think I didn't talk to every single one of the clients I owe money.
I think you talked to them. I think that's what you're good at.
I fucking opened up. I opened up to these two people,
right?
Because they were the most successful and they were the most level-headed. When I opened up and talked to them about it, that I thought I could share with them where I was at, and they can give me.
If you want to see an impressive collection, JJ's got a hell of a collection.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do this for enjoyment. I like to hang out with my buddies and chat watches. This is not a lifetime event for me here, but it is funny when they say that. He actually said at one point, like, none of you guys could be my client. I'm thinking in my head, like, what are you talking about? I actually said it. It's like, I could easily be your client, but why would I ever want to buy anything off you? I would never. Ever since I heard of him with the blackout thing, I was like, nah, that's a no-go. I don't necessarily deal with anyone who sells out of a backpack for the most part. I mean,
and to be honest, JJ knows people that have bought watches from Anthony before, and I think some of those transactions he knows about did go down smooth. I don't know if
everything goes down smooth until it doesn't, right? That's how and look, I'm not accusing him directly, but I'm just gonna put out an example here, right? Any con game, right? You ever see 3-card Monty in the street? You bet $5, you win. You bet $5, you win. Then you throw 100 down. That's the one you're going to lose, right? So any confidence game works with the word. Any con comes from confidence, right? How do you build confidence? You do a good deal. You do a good deal. You do a good deal. Then when you put the big money in, that's when you fall apart. And then the next deal, I'm working already on the next guy. Right. Small deal until he gives a big deal, and then you continue on until it gets so crazy that you can't keep up. This is just a generalization. I'm not saying this is what he did. I'm just saying this is how it normally goes down. Right. So you'll always hear, "Oh, he was great. I did, X amount of deals, and everything was smooth until this last one." And then, like, the last one's always the doozy, right? It's always, you get a couple jabs, but it's the right hook that puts you out of commission. That's just how it goes,
Yep. Exactly, dude. All right, we got about another 10. We could probably get through this.
Advice on how to get out of this.
And believe me, there's going to be a weird point just for the viewers. If you haven't seen this yet, it kind of goes into a very weird turn, and you'll see that turn coming up pretty soon. And it's interesting.
I fucking opened up to them because I was really that depressed that I had to just spill my guts to them. No, I had a fucking million people I could do that. No, I did it because I thought they were the two best. I thought they were the two best options to help me fix it without anyone getting fucked over. Guess what? I had 3. Listen, Wesley.
We have people calling. They're losing their homes. Their pregnant wife. You stole their fucking fortunes.
Really? People are losing their homes because they have their $20,000 watch. Really? Yes, you fucking believe that, Wesley? You're fucking
I do. I verified.
You know what? $20,000 isn't a rounding error for some people.
$20,000 is a big deal where I'm from.
I already spoke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 20. Listen, I'm not saying.
Making $30,000.
Ari's like silent.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not saying $20,000. I'm not saying $2,000 is a lot of money. Guess what? Right now, $2,000 is a lot of fucking money to me, and I'm realizing that. Right. Nobody's losing their fucking homes. I need to quit exaggerating these fucking stories. Guess what? That guy with his pregnant wife, I talk to him every other. Yeah, get him on it right now because I talked to him this morning.
You haven't talked to him.
No, I talked to him this morning.
This is, I think, the issue. You don't seem to have sympathy for these people that you owe money to.
No, he don't. He's a fucking dick.
It's really crazy. Like, if I would feel terrible.
No, you don't think I don't have sympathy because I don't post those conversations on.
Bring them on. Fuck them. Like, that's not.
Why is everything with social media? Everything is social media with you, dude. Like, everything.
Well, you're sitting here telling. Listen, you're sitting here. Listen, you're sitting here telling me I don't have. You're sitting here telling me that these people are losing their homes. Show it online because I talk to these people every fucking day because Wesley comes on here and fucking outs me on everything I tell him, and he just says some fucking guy's got a pregnant wife and she's losing their home. Are you fucking kidding me? Those guys brought that. I talk to that guy every day. That guy brought me 2 of a dozen watches.
Even if it was $1, I mean, it's still someone's money.
Forget about the money, but do you think it's not a possibility that it's affecting people's lives in some way? Right. Like. That's why I'm saying, like, a little.
Yes, listen, affecting people's lives and them losing their fucking home is a whole different story. So quit fucking exaggerating. That's your problem. Is Wesley is telling
you trying to help you,
bro? What are you talking about? Like, you're so out of touch.
Wesley said,
like, he's trying to help you, Anthony. Has got my family death threats. It has got the most false claims against my business. It's got the people in the world who trust me the most to question all of my integrity because I associate with a son of a bitch like you. And now you're going to hop on here in front of all these people and talk down to me? Man, fuck you. Simple as that. Wherever you're flying, fly to me. You won't have that same tone to my face.
Oh, I will too. Yes, I will.
No, you will.
No, one-on-one, you wouldn't fucking talk to me like this. I guarantee you wouldn't.
JJ, that'll be next Friday night. Anthony, get the ring.
Then come to LA. Come to LA tomorrow. I'll be back in LA.
I was not agreeing to that.
101 California is where I live.
I think, you know, I just think it seems like you guys are going to come to a head. Sooner or later, one way or the other, this has got to come to a head. But
thank you.
It just seems like there's just way too much animosity for this to be fixed. To be honest, from what I'm seeing, like
the problem,
I think the problem is, to be honest with you, I don't see how you could do it unless you got out of this industry and got successful in another industry to pay it back. I don't see it.
What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Listen,
the problem is right now. You got a platform yet.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Because I'm not going to. I'm not going to because I was going to try to stay
on your Instagram today.
No, what are we psychic? People have questions. You can't get mad that people have questions.
Because the people that are on here trying to get views and they're not my customers. I talk to my fucking customers every day. You guys talking about people on their fucking ass. Okay,
Anthony, you posted this watch for sale today. This watch right here. It's on your Instagram.
JJ, can you just give everybody a price on that meteorite watch that he's pulled up, the Rolex? What do you think?
I'm sorry, Brian. Something went haywire on my thing.
Yeah, it's okay. The watch that Wesley's holding, the meteorite, that's what, solid white gold?
It's white gold, yes.
Yeah, can you just tell everybody probably the basic, because my viewers don't really follow this stuff. Basic price for that one?
Retail is like 42,000. They're selling for about 55,000 on the secondary.
Okay.
It's white gold meteorite.
Yeah.
So today.
Did I post a sell price? I did.
This watch.
Really? I posted a sell price. Really? What was it?
No. You posted it as if you represent like you had it in your hands.
No, I posted it as no. I posted it like a fan, the way I did when I first built my account. Really? Where did I say it was for sale? Wesley, come on.
Where did I say it was for fucking sale? Watches on his Instagram insinuates it's for sale.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. When I first built all of my dude, don't you fucking come at me like you fucking know this industry. I fucking taught you this industry. I fucking built my name first.
I don't know.
No, you don't know me. No, you don't.
I'm an idiot, and that's the reason I didn't know you, and that's why I got.
Hey, I gotta go.
My flight's
all right. I think we're good here anyway. See you later. All right.
See you later, pal.
Is he still here? All right, he's here. He's gone. I kind of closed it out because I know he's got to go anyway. But
all right,
when the whole fighting thing, I can't have people. You know what? I understand frustration, but I can't have.
So just to let everybody know, we got about another 5 minutes in this video. We'll wrap it up. It gets kind of to a weird turn here.
Yeah, definitely.
So essentially what happened was, because you're not getting the full context of the video, and if you want to see the full video, please, I encourage you, go down there, watch the whole video. It's about a 2-hour video. It'll give JJ some views. Go over, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll kind of understand what's seeing. So I cut the video up because I just wanted to do the juicy stuff tonight. And essentially after this, we started to look at Wesley's watch collection, which is incredibly impressive, the ones that he had with him. And then Anthony jumps back on stream, and you'll see that kind of jumps back on. It was
kind of a sad moment, right? Because he's like, I just want to look at the watches and relax. Like it was like, oh, you can't do that no more. You fucked up.
It's very. He's like, why can't he almost
can't we just talk watches for a minute and forget about this?
Yeah,
forget about all this.
It's kind of weird. All right, let's play through this.
Rumble in the jungle things and stuff like that.
Did anything happen before I hopped on?
No, not much happened. There was no drama tonight.
Nothing
no drama.
All right, cool.
So if anybody doesn't know, obviously they probably wouldn't, but some may know in the chat room. The bottom gentleman there on the bottom is the captain. He's a regular on JJ's stream as well too. Listen, if you're not even, I gotta just say this, if you're not even invested in the watch talk, just going over and watching these guys are just so interesting. And I always have a lot of fun when I can jump on there and hang out, and they're just characters, and I think this is what's really drawn me to all you guys and to stay in touch, and not characters in a bad way, but they have a lot of fun over there. They poke fun. The stream is a lot of fun. And
I like to say it's not all watch talk. It's we're watch centric based. It's all guys that are watch collectors.
Right.
But it's more like you walk into Cheers, right? And it's like everybody's there to hang out. And mostly we talk about new watches and new stuff. But that's not the whole show. It's always like, the inside jokes start to become apparent the longer you watch. It's a lot of laughs because you're in on the jokes after you start to figure out the characters. And we talk about more like our experiences, and a lot of it's watch based, but it's just mostly about like what we're up to, you know what I mean? And
right,
everyone has a different career, different life, and it's kind of like you get it's like when you watch a TV show, right? You get like invested in the characters there, and you kind of want to know what's going on.
right.
That's how I like to look at it.
And offline, they are the same exact people, just genuine people. They don't change, and
yeah, that was
really
the whole thing. The whole name of the show, right? It was just like it was a bunch of watch guys who just wanted to hang out and bullshit, and that's what it became. The hangout, like it was. I don't know how like I said, this is all really just for fun. We never really cared about views and getting people, but the more we did it, I guess we brought a little bit of legitimacy to the scene, and people enjoy it. So when we get stories, we put them out too, and we keep track of what's going on in the world, in the especially the watch world, but a whole bunch of stuff. But thanks for
and JJ, and JJ gets some really heavy hitters on his channel every once in a while. He'll get Paul Thorpe comes over, Nico will jump on, and these guys are very well known in the watch world. So all right, this is where it kind of gets a little weird. Stream.
We got Anthony back on the plane.
Anthony. Wesley, I'm very curious to hear.
Look at Captain.
I like asking this question. What watch are you most proud of in your collection?
Honestly, this one. So this is just a two-tone Submariner.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I gotta be. I mean, honest. I probably sound a little stupid here. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're so dumb. You're so dumb." I gotta be like, I was a little like, wow, I'm kind of like on a stream with this guy. Like, I've been trying to get him to do an interview with me for a fucking year, and finally had an opportunity to talk to him, not in like a good way, but I was just kind of like, all right, but it was like finally after a year of like trying to get this guy to fucking do something, it's like, this is the circumstance that we're in. But
people don't know where I came from. I mean, we grew up really, really poor. We didn't know we were poor because I had the best parents in the world, but like we were happy as anything. So
purposely kept them down at the bottom.
Working for $13 an hour, and right out of high school. I didn't actually finish high school, but me and my wife worked every day, and she kind of rode around in my truck with me as we were doing jobs. And
it was a great story here.
Eventually, we started making good money, and I just felt like she bought me this as a present, and
that's awesome.
And it's just I wore it every day since. This is what kind of got me into the watches.
Down, by the way.
It was kind of like we made it kind of thing.
The best watch is the one for the story. That's awesome.
Thank you. Kato, love that story.
And then, I know Anthony's back on if you want to try to speak with him. If he was just listening, it don't matter.
I don't know if he's a creep in the shadow. It's so
and the fucking.
I just unmuted, but I don't.
Yeah,
I honestly hear this.
It's so weird, dude. How his like his whole personality, like he went from this fucking no, you fucking listen to me, you fucking. Now he's like, can we just like hang out and talk watches?
Yeah, this part kind of that's why. Well, I don't want to give away the the ending really, but I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now? We can't just talk watches, like you know what I mean? It's way past that. Yeah, it was definitely awkward mode for sure.
All right, we'll wrap this up, and then we'll just give a little outro, and then we'll get out of here. Yeah, Antonio Mora said awkward. Absolutely.
I wonder what's Curly doing? Curly streaming? I don't know. All right, good.
Is Curly still in the room?
I was gonna see if he was streaming. I was gonna.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can. It's a little
dark too.
He loves to throw a little dig in.
Airplane noise, cabin noise.
I'm gonna put my other phone.
Must be the first class cabin noise.
I want to be on a plane right now.
Just so people know, yes, it's first class, but I'm concierge key when I was flying all the time. So I booked coach tickets and I get off here in the first. So, because I already saw somebody in the comments saying it's first class, like I'm just so living that life.
Right.
This is so awkward.
So, I don't know if you want to get. I'm like, I was going to say you want to continue.
I guess I don't know if we want to continue with the watch. I guess do we?
What's that?
I was just like, so you want to continue? And I just stopped short. And you see my head? I'm like shaking around. I'm like, what am I saying right now? Right now in my head, I'm going, this guy's got to go. I'm just figuring out a tactful way to do it. Because I do want him to come back and tell the story, but I also don't want him at this point. Like, this is just ridiculous. So my brain is just like, I'm trying to figure out how to just end this. So
we've all just like kind of like our brains are on pause right now. We're like, what is he fucking doing?
Because it was so uncomfortable. I just want to hear the part when he goes, yeah, I just want to talk about some watches or whatever he said.
He's like creeping in the shadow right there.
Crazy.
I can't. Oh shit.
Have anything else we want to get to? As far as...
I'd like to continue with the watches. If Anthony wants to listen, let him listen.
All right. I mean, Cap, weigh in here, Cap. What do you got to say? Give us some words.
Well, I mean, if we could hear Anthony, I mean, right now he's on mute and there's some cabin noise.
You want us to boot him, Cap? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm muted so you guys. I'm muted so you guys can continue doing the watches. I'll talk whenever y'all are done.
All right.
Or whenever someone asks me something.
Thank you.
I'll give you your time. It's your show.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. So let's get back to Wesley's watch collection.
Yeah.
Wesley, what is going on in your mind right now? You're like, I don't know if I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, like just going through.
No, it's a weird feeling for me because again, when I started really falling in love with watches and learning the history, it's been no secret Anthony was like an idol. I thought he was like the biggest name in the world, and you know, in my mind he was. So I went to him for everything I needed. And now where we're at now, and kind of, I mean, I feel like I was just attacked over just saying things are the truth. I don't know how I feel, but I definitely don't want to like get into a back and forth. And I'm perfectly fine. I'm just trying to move on from it.
How about for the sake of this? How about for the sake of this video, Leslie? Let's pretend like none of this bad stuff's happened, and let's just talk like we were before. For the sake of this video,
it's so manipulative thing to say, right? Like
he says,
just for now, let's go back to the way things were. I mean, it's just creepy. I didn't even really like listen to it back. It's like, wow.
He says, for the sake of this video, let's forget about everything that just happened and just go back to the way it was for the sake of this video and just talk watches. It
sounds like a bad domestic relationship, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's forget about what I just did to you. Let's just like go back to a honeymoon or something.
It's so weird.
Weird. Yeah.
All right. We got about another minute. We'll finish this out and then we'll wrap up with JJ here. Hang on.
Cool. All right. I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to do a 4-minute talk and then we're going to get back to Weston this time. And, you know, I want to respect this time. And this is, you know, people in the chat are getting uncomfortable. It's just odd. So if anything you guys want to say, let's get it out now. We'll give it a few minutes and then, you know, respectfully, Anthony, we're going to wrap up. If you're welcome back another time if you want to, you know, come out.
You're like frustrated at this point. I can tell.
I don't know if you do.
Well, I'd rather talk about watches with Wesley because before all this broke out, we actually did have a real relationship and we talked a lot about things that he brought up.
This is when I knew we had to go. When I started manipulating.
He really was interested in what watches to buy, which ones not to buy. Let's talk about that. Why are we guys talking about negative stuff for like a minute?
I hear you. I'm going to make an executive decision, and there's no disrespect, but I think if you want to come on when you landed. We could hear you talk to you. You know, until then, you know, I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. All right, so that's that. If he wants to come back, he's welcome.
Yeah,
to come back.
too distracting.
Wesley's gone out of his way a few times for me. I'm not making this awkward to get a rating. You know, he's got to go. That's it.
I actually have
whoever's mad who wants to see the action, I'm sorry, but Wesley's been nothing but a gentleman to me, and I'm not going to go out of my way to get ratings or disrespect him in any way. It is obviously an uncomfortable situation. I wanted to chit chat with Wesley about his cool watch collection. I don't want to make this a different thing. So that's it. There's no more links. Done and done.
That's it. Good stuff, man.
You know, it was difficult because it's like you want to get, you know, max extraction, but at that point it just felt like he was trying to manipulate Wesley, and I was, you know, like, let's just take it. Like, it was just creepy things to say. Like, let's just forget about everything that happened and let's just take a minute to talk about watches. I don't know.
Frazier loved
I feel like watching it again, I should have did it faster, but I guess it's hard to have the correct reaction so quick in real time, you know.
And Carrie's loved it. And you know, it's like I got shit too in the comments, like, why didn't you ever ask him about him, you know, taking your questions? It honestly didn't come to my mind in that time frame. I mean, shit, when it's very spontaneous, sometimes you're just kind of caught up in the moment, and I didn't want to overstep I mean, it was his show.
You also don't want to detract from their beef, which is more important. It's about big money, right? Forget about questions. Like,
it
would have been a good question to ask if we had time where we're on that subject, but when they're going at it with each other, it doesn't make sense.
But that's kind of what happened. I wanted to come over here and just kind of review it a little bit. I talked to JJ and said, hey, would you mind coming over and do some commentary from my crew over here, because everybody's been obviously invested in it over here, and I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that comes out. Listen, Anthony, if you want to go on JJ's platform, whatever platform you want, we'll make it happen, get it lined up. I'd love to see you go over on JJ's, because he's really started the story over there, and his platform's open. Reach out to him. I know you've had conversations with him, so
I think it makes sense for him to do his own interview without having other people, if he wants to get his side out there. And I spoke to Bob. We don't want to beat a dead horse, but he's going to come back at a certain point, which I don't want to get into right now, but we've come to an understanding at a certain point. We're going to reconvene on it when there's something new to speak about, not to just rehash. But so that's it. It is what it is. But I do appreciate you having me on, and I do appreciate all you guys in the chat that are watching, and whoever's going to be watching the replay of this. If you want to check me out, YouTube, JJ's Watch Hangout, Instagram, JJ's Watch Hangout. Not hard to find. I'm on all, TikTok, same thing. And appreciate you having me on, Brian, of course.
Yeah, and the link to the full video is down in my description. That will link you right to JJ's channel. They stream on Wednesdays and Sunday nights. What's your streaming schedule?
I kind of switch it up. I've been doing Sunday night.
I know Sunday
forever.
Yeah,
I've been doing
9:30
Eastern.
Yeah.
I've been doing Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday 9:30, and then like Thursday daytime one for the European audience. And obviously everyone's welcome,
right?
More because they're ahead of us 5 hours. So I've been doing 4:30 Eastern on Thursday. At least one day a week I try to get in a show for the European guys. So I've been doing more now than I have been. And as long as we keep the guests coming in, I'm gonna try to really get a good guest every Wednesday or Friday. It depends. It depends on people's schedule, but been hitting it about 4 times a week now. So
right. JJ, question: what do you guys think of the Sprite on Jubilee?
Interesting watch. I think it could be a future collectible if they cut it short. I'm not a huge fan of left-handed watches, even though I am left-handed.
Right.
I just OCD. I'm used to a watch looking a certain way. My favorite GMT is the Batgirl, the black and blue, or Batman, whatever you want to call it. Usually on the Jubilee they call it the Batgirl. I know everyone loves the Pepsi, but I prefer the black and blue colorway. I just think the blue is a much more vibrant blue. But my order would be Batgirl Sprite, Batgirl Pepsi Sprite. That's my least favorite, maybe behind the those.
All right, gang. Well, I appreciate again JJ for his time doing this kind of last minute, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It was really fun to get together with you, and of course, I jump over on his panel every now and then and have some fun with those guys over there. So again, his locked in night is Sunday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He kind of switches his schedule around the week, but if you want to go over and check out, you can just follow all the watch talk over here. Again, I'm a true crime, mostly true crime channel, exposing scammers, stuff like that. It's kind of what we do over here. So go check them out. They're all a bunch of good guys, and appreciate everybody in the chat this evening. We've kind of cross-pollinated, had some of JJ's people over here, my people over here, all my mods, all my subscribers. I love all of you. Hey, we passed 8,700 subscribers tonight. Thank you so much. And
awesome. Congratulations. You deserve it. Hopefully hit 10,000 real soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and we'll get you over there and banging, because your channel's been smoking the last week, dude.
It's been blowing up pretty big. We've been putting out also shorts every day and stuff like that. So a lot of content coming out. It's pretty fun.
All right, I'm gonna hit the outro. I appreciate everybody. We'll just do this really quick before we get out of here. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun at the end of the stream. Hang on.
Sure.
I'm young enough too. I'm confident enough that I'm always gonna make money in something. If I gave up if I never sold another watch tomorrow, I can start selling paper cups, plastic cups, and I'll do good at it.
It's always a classic. All right, everybody, be well. I'll be back soon. Hey, this week I am off from work. I'm home on a staycation. I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. So look for my schedule. I'll post them up. Always go to the community tab. I always have all my posts over there. You can follow me all on my social media networks. I do have an Instagram now, ltl.pod. podcast will get you to my Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm not really posting there too much. And over on Twitter, I post every once in a while. If you need to get in touch with me, emails down below. Let's talk live podcast at gmail.com. That's JJ. I'm Brian. We're going to get out of here. Thanks, guys. Take care.